At this time, I wanted to share the naming of a child, and this child was my father, and he writes about this in his book. So even though this is in the plains by one of the mountain tribes, there are many names for children on the West Coast and how they acquire their names. So I just wanted to share this naming with you, and maybe you will talk to your Indigenous neighbors next to you and find out how they name their children. It is a very special blessing, a blessed event for those who receive names. In the first edition of These Mountains of Our Sacred Places, I wrote briefly about my native name, but I do not explain the meaning it carries. My mother told me that a few days after I was born, a powwow was held at a large schoolhouse near the northeast corner of the reserve, where community functions and tribal gatherings were held. My mother told me she was informed that at the powwow I was given a traditional Indian name, Intibja Mani, or walking seal, by the hereditary chief Jonas Goodstoney. She said he gave you the name without seeing you, as though he knew you and knew that you were coming. She said that the old chief announced my name at the community gathering. Neither of my parents or I were at the powwow hosted by the tribe. Perhaps my parents thought I was too little or too young to be taken out into the cold winter night to a large gathering only a few days after I was born. Chief Jonas had heard via the moccasin telegraph among the tribal members about the baby boy born to Tom and Cora Snow just a few days before, and he told some of the people, his name is Intibja Mani. Then he announced to the powwow gathering, walking seal has come. Mary, the chief's wife, loved to tell me the story of my naming. She would say, your grandpa announced your name, saying, walking seal has come to the people at the powwow. And everyone was curious about who this walking seal was. The people looked around the audience to see if a new person was there. They were thinking that a visitor from another tribe had come to the powwow. Some even said, I hope he's a good medicine man and not a bad one. The old chief kept the people in suspense. For most of the powwow, the people kept asking, who is Walking Seal? Where is he? Near the closing of the event, the old chief announced, a baby boy is born to Tom and Cora Snow, and his name is Intibja Mani, Walking Seal. My traditional name was conferred upon me by an elder sage who knew the Nakota traditions and was one of the keepers of wisdom. He was a ceremonial leader, an oral historian, and a hereditary chief of the Nakota people. I have often wondered why Chief Jonas passed this name on to me without having seen me or my parents beforehand. There were 11 children in our family, and the old chief named only one of us. As I look back over the years, I have come to realize the significance of this traditional naming ceremony. Chief Jonas was a hereditary chief. His father was Jacob Goodstoney, who signed Treaty Number 7 with the British Crown at Blackfoot Crossing in 1877. I believe that by conferring upon me the name Walking Seal, this wise sage placed upon my shoulders the responsibility of leading the Nakota people into the modern age. Even though I was only a few days old, Chief Jonas Goodstoney, through his intuition and through the wisdom of the sages that preceded him, anointed me with a traditional name to guide me into modern times. As it turned out, 35 years later, I was elected chief in 1968 and served the Stoney Nakoda people for more than a quarter century, 28 years as one of the chiefs of the Stoney Tribal Council. When I was an older boy, Jonas and his wife, Mary, explained to me why I received my name in Tibja Mani, walking seal, according to our tradition. He said that the seal is a unique creature, a versatile animal. The seal lives west and north of here. We don't see the animal in these parts. Both took turns in explaining and interpreting the importance of my name to me. Mary was always proud of my name and got excited when talking to me about it. The old couple were real elders, loving and caring, real human beings who cared for our families and our people. They would say, "The seal walks on land and it glides over sand, snow, ice, and water with ease. The seal can survive in all kinds of weather, on land or at sea. The seal is an animal with great determination to live. It adapts to the changing seasons as they progress from spring to summer and autumn to winter, always adjusting to these changes according to the Creator's plan. I too carry this name, would also adjust to the changes and challenges of modern times. Carry your name well, and your name will carry you well." He always told me to honor our traditions and to bring honor to our people. I am proud of the Nakota name given to me by one of my great-grandfathers. So as we think of our traditional people at this time of year, let us give thanks for the blessings of all children. And as we remember the special, unique gifts and talents of each child, we do so prayerfully, and we give thanks for the story of the Christ child. So when I hear the traditional teachings, I also hear the teachings of the Bible, and I hear the teachings of the Scripture, and it resonates with the stories of the Hebrew people and the stories of the Nakota people. Both have been touched by Creator. So as we go into this season of Advent, remember to love one another, remember to be kind, remember to respect one another. And as we end this year and go into a new year, let us look with hope to the future. Let us have faith and love in the work that Creator has asked us to do. And as we go forth, we give thanks for all that the Creator has blessed us with in this life and the life to come. Thank you for listening today.